Yeah, again, so Flyquest, Golden Guardians make the move with each other. Let's focus now on Flyquest, specifically flipping their whole Academy roster into LCS, and all 4 guys on left from the LCS moving back on down. Diamond's pretty lucky, right? Diamond got benched earlier, and so now in comes Diamond once again, and there it is, sad boy Jose. He's come on across. There was a great tweet chain by, I believe it was Amazing, where it's like, yep, destroys his region, goes to Worlds, comes to the second place team that also went to Worlds, and then finds terrible success, can't find any teammates to rely on. His best teammate gets traded away, and then he gets benched. This has been a difficult run for Jose Diodo, but also, what does this move mean to you, Dom, here?
I mean, it's strange to me because I don't think that like Flyquest, like, so I guess the idea is this, right? Like Flyquest as a team in Academy has been performing pretty well. I'm pretty sure last time I checked, they were like second in the standings. Academy, LOL standing. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're still like top 3 in the standings, right? Okay, they're second right now as well. So they've been doing really well in Academy, and I guess the whole idea is like, just, okay, whatever they've been doing in Academy works. Like, we don't want to try to like mess up any of the synergy or the pre-existing like systems that they have within that team. So we're going to just do a full-on swap. But I just think it's really weird that they have a player like Jose Diodo, who I don't think Jose Diodo is like the smartest player like ever or anything. Like, I don't think that he makes great, intelligent decisions all the time. But I think that in terms of like individual skill level and like mechanical ability, I think he's one of the better junglers we have in LCS. And it seems weird that they're not even like trying to integrate him into that team at all. Like, I don't think that NXI has showed me anything that's made me think that he could be a better jungler than Jose Diodo. And I feel like, I don't know, I would like to see Jose Diodo still be able to like have some ability to compete in LCS, because I feel like whenever they got leads, it was always off like plays that he was making. So why not try to integrate him into that team to try to make the best team possible? I know that they did like the half roster swap before. Not really sure how I felt about that, but I don't know. To me, it just seems like, honestly, a failure of coaching staff. I don't think that there's a possible way that you could coach a team well that has those 5 players on it and get such a terrible result, like in LCS with the current level. Like, we're not dealing with something where you have to be a top team in another region in order to compete in LCS. Like, teams like Immortals that have objectively less talent, or like, I guess you could say subjectively, but in my eyes, less talent on their roster. Like, how does a team like that outperform you this heavily in summer? It doesn't make sense.
I think for the tweet reference saying that Jose Diodo went to Worlds and like all this other stuff, and then he gets imported. I mean, this is sort of like, I don't know what the term is for it, but Amazing likes to use a lot of things that Amazing likes to tweet a lot of things that don't really have substance, or they can be broken down like really faulty evaluation. As well as like faulty praise methods, right? I mean, Jose Diodo goes to Worlds off the back of best of 5 wins and a best of 5 that also went to 4 games, you know, in a wild card region. Like, they went 3-2 in round 1, then they go 3-1, then they go 3-2 versus All Knights in the final. So yeah, sure, he goes to Worlds. I think the context surrounding this really matters. Now, at Worlds, he did really well on the Super Server, and he was one of the shining stars on his team at Worlds. But again, context is really important because you have to actually look at the games. But the games is a low sample size in itself. So that's just like random fluff. Now, I agree that he's one of the better players on the team. ProView is really fucking good this split. It's really valuable because you get a lot of insight into what the person's doing. You get to see their mechanics in person. You get to see what they're looking at. Now, obviously, you don't have access to comms and stuff like that, but I wholeheartedly agree with Tom. I don't think it's that hard in regions where there are a lot of bottom tier teams, or it's very top heavy. That's the best way to put it. Sure. In regions that are extremely top heavy, it shouldn't be that hard when you have arguably relatively similar talent pools or skill level on the teams to not actually edge out things. Or at least, you know, greater than what they're currently showing. So I think in that regard, yeah, Flyquest, it's obviously, it's a disaster. And then obviously the way that this whole Licorice thing was just handled, it's also equally a disaster. So pretty rough.
Yeah, I don't know.
When it comes to the messaging of this one, right? Because this is one of the few times where they're like, "Hey, our academy team is doing better than our LCS team. They are in second place. Is this something that I can, that we can appropriately say they're rewarding the academy team?" Does this one make more sense? Because I know that was a big, talking point earlier, Dom.
Yeah, I mean, I like it makes sense, but at the same time, it's like I would like to hear what's happening with the coaching staff as well. Like, are they going to keep the same academy coach and have the person that has been coaching the main team still coaching? No, I'm not joking at all.
I know. That's a good thought. I haven't really thought of that. I'm looking. Okay. Who is their academy coach right now?
Well, to me, it just doesn't make sense. It's like if the whole team has been working with that same environment with the same coach, like I hope that they're not just going to like only swap like roster and then have the LCS coaching staff now coaching the roster, because I feel like as a whole that whole environment has failed. If you want to swap the whole environment, swap the whole environment. Don't just do like the don't just do like the, oh, we're gonna put them with like a different coach that might have different ways of seeing things or might try to coach in a different way or have a different system, like all that type of stuff. I think is really like necessary to know. I think that's the most important part to me is like, I hope that if they are giving the whole academy team a shot, they're giving the whole academy team, the coaching staff, everyone that was contributing to that environment that like had that successful academy, like, that was able to contribute to that successful academy result this split. I want to see all those people working with the team still.
I mean, Flyquest, we're almost going to be done with summer split, right? And this has been, I think that summer 2021 will go down in history as the worst split ever, but also the most revealing at the amount of incompetence that goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I just from my conversations with people in the space and some of the decision makers, it does feel like there's a shift happening and there's a lot of spotlights being shown on people.
One of the things that I do want to say is, I tweeted this too in response to the fly, or I tweeted a response to Crumbs. You might have seen it on Twitter. Let me just read. I mean, it's very short. Crumbs said, LCS orgs need to step up their PR with these kinds of moves. They don't inspire confidence from the outside with no transparency. Half the moves of the split look like the side grades at best, self-sabotaging at worst. I replied to Crumbs, it doesn't matter when they just lie. Now, my comment stems from the obviousness that people speak behind the scenes. No roster move that has happened in the last 7 or 8 months has had an honest public statement. Not one. So I can sit here and say this, and no one's gonna say otherwise, like publicly, right? Because it's just fucking true. Players talk, everyone talks. You, like me and Dom, know, probably what's going on before it goes public. We know what's actually happening.
Yeah.
So every single move is a lie publicly. Unless that changes, you're just going to constantly have nepotism, you're going to have cycling, and the problem is that it's in the orgs and the players' best interests to have new people pick up the people who are being moved around and finding places on new teams, because then their PR ends up settling and it ends up fucking, people just start forgetting about it. The only reason that it's drawn so much attention now is the frequency that it's happening in North America, as well as clearly how bad some of the PR statements have been. But regardless of if they're bad or not, it's not going to mean anything when they're lying and people behind the scenes know that they lie. Because what these orgs don't realize is that everyone behind the scenes fucking talks. And while there is going to be non-disparagement clauses inside of contracts or NDAs or these other types of things that'll keep things nice and peachy and shiny forward-facing, everyone behind the scenes knows what's actually going on. So you're growing mold is all that's happening. And I think they don't realize that. I think they think that they're playing like fucking 4D chess and they're not even managing to play tic-tac-toe.